Hey, book lovers, book readers, book friends. Welcome to Read This Book. I am your book hostess, LaShonda, bringing you this week's book review of Pieces of Me by Peyton Banks. That's right. I got a real book. So, I got this book a couple of months ago at Shameless Book Con, where I met Peyton Banks, and she is absolutely lovely. But she is a new author to me, so I didn't quite know what to expect from this book and from her writing style. But let me just tell you that I am so happy that I got to read this book. Pieces of Me is about Nina and Sid. Nina is a mega pop star, think Beyonce, and Sid is her personal trainer, who from the description is kind of built like Vin Diesel versus The Rock versus just sexy. He's sexy and built. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that, right? Right. So this is the story of Nina and Sid. Like I said, Nina is a mega rich super pop star who was dating this actor. They have been dating for a long time, and at the end of her tour, he dumps her because he says she's too fat. Which we all know that means that she just had a little junk in her trunk. She got some hips, she got a little shape to her, and he dumps her. And she's like, what? She's totally caught off guard by this, right? And so fast forward, Nina goes home to to Ohio, where she's from, to kind of lick her wounds and decompress from the tour, and just really gearing up, for the next thing. But obviously she had just been sitting in her room for way too long, and her sister Meg is like, get up and get it together. Get yourself together. Let's get out. Let's go. People need to see you, to know that you're not sitting here, licking your wounds, and that you're all devastated by this breakup, even though she was. But, she's a pop star, and so she's a celebrity. And so, all of the rumor mills and the things that people were saying about her, because he dumped her, so she wasn't good enough, or, weight issues, all of that stuff. She's listening to you like she's sitting, and she's just like, okay, enough is enough. She knows she's all that in a bag of chips, but she decides that she will, tighten up, as they called it, get the breakup body. So she goes to this gym, and she meets Sid, who is instantly attracted to her. But he has no idea who she is. He just thinks she's another, VIP client. But he's instantly attracted to her, and she's instantly attracted to him. And let me just say, they try to fight the attraction. They really do, especially Sid, because, he's like, I need to be professional. This is my place of employment. This is my livelihood. I don't sleep with clients. And Nina is just like, you sexy as hell. Let's do this. She needs to get a little release. And so they are really trying to fight the attraction, and then Sid is like, F it, and he gives in, and they get sexy. I was like, oh, okay. Ooh, sexy time. But he's really, really feeling her, but he didn't want to be like the rebound. Once he Googles her, he was like, oh, snap. I'm just the rebound guy for her that she's using up until she moves on to the next one. And she was like, it's not like that at all. And so they decide that they're going to date, which her bodyguard is like, no, he's white. What the hell are you thinking? And she's like, I do what I want. I date who I want. Who are you to say who I can date just because he's white and I'm black? So you get a lot of that dialogue that she has with her close people, like, hey, let me live. In the meantime, she's also getting back in the studio to do this sneak release. Sounds a lot like Beyonce. do this sneak release of this album to kind of tell her side of the story, because her ex-boyfriend is now dating this super thin model, and really trying to make it seem like there was something wrong with her. And she's like, but she don't retaliate by going to the tabloids. She retaliated by singing, by working on this album. And so in the midst of that, she's also decided to date Sid, and they go out, and it is so cute. Even though she's this big mega rich superstar, he just treats her like she's a normal woman. Like, hey, we're going on a date. You're big into your hometown sports and your teams and stuff. Let's go to the bar. They go to the bar, meet his friends and have drinks, and, the crowd is there, but they're not pressing up on her, trying to get pictures and whatnot. So they're dating, and then it gets out that she's dating this white guy who's her personal trainer, and all hell breaks loose, in the media. And then all of a sudden, her ex-boyfriend who dumped her because she was fat, starts calling, trying to get back in the picture. And he's just like, what? And she's like, no, honey, I am done with you. But you have that, and then you have her also initiating Sid into her life as a celebrity. And what I liked about it is that, he didn't freak out. He kind of looked at her like to help him navigate this. He was 100% like down for her. He really cared about her and wanted to not only just keep her in shape, but he wanted to protect her as well. But he was real careful as not to really like overstep. But honey, when the ex-boyfriend showed up and started popping all that yin yang and was disrespectful, Sid wasn't having it. Sid was not having it. He squared up, was like, what you want to do? I was like, oh, it's going down. I loved it, because even though she had security, her bodyguards and whatever was stationed around, Sid was like, no, you're not gonna disrespect my woman. And he did not allow the bodyguards to come and fight for him. He was like, nah, I got this. But at the same time, she's like, oh my God, she's trying to like protect him too, because she knows what everyone is saying about them being an interracial couple. He's a personal trainer, so he's just a gold digger and all this stuff. And so, they're trying to navigate their young, fresh relationship, as well as, deal with the pressures of her being a celebrity and moving on with their relationship. What I loved about this book was that balance, the balance of Nina as the superstar and Nina as the girlfriend to Sid, and how she did not compromise his manhood and his integrity with her being a celebrity. So she wasn't like, I'm the big deal in this relationship, you bow down at my feet, type of thing, or always overrunning him or overdoing him. It was nothing like this. It was such a perfect balance of the relationship, of the give and take. It was a really well written story. It really was. And it was a quick read. Like I said, they had some sexy in here, child. They burned it up. But I loved it. It had the drama. And then you also had a little bit too of if you could imagine what it was like being a celebrity, working on an album, the photo shoots and all the stuff that comes with being on that pedestal, right? It had a lot of that in it, but it wasn't so overwhelming with that where you're just like, okay, I get it, she's a superstar. So it was well balanced, all of the elements to this story, and I loved it, and I am here for it. Pieces of Me by Peyton Banks is a book you absolutely should read. So yeah, if you haven't read it, I'm dropping the link in the comments below. If you have read it, comment, let me know. Tell me how you feel. Did you like their story? Did you care that they were an interracial couple? And if you had a chance to date a celebrity, would you date one? I would totally date it. Jason Momoa, if you're ever available, I would totally date you. I have a list. I might share that. Anyway, you should absolutely read this book, Pieces of Me by Peyton Banks. You will not be disappointed. So until next time, read a good book.